the road.
That gets to who is they. See, because we were just talking about the military before. We were talking about the military. Now we're talking about corporations.
Now I'm talking about corporations.
Yeah.
I'm talking about big business where I think corporations are at the end. Every quarter they have to show a profit. They're at the end of legal ways to do it. So now they're just straight up beginning to steal, like my bank that's taking $28 a month out of my account for no reason. I didn't even notice. On the road, one of those accounts you just have a couple hundred. But I finally said, dude, why are you taking $28 out of this? And they did it on the laptop. Oh yeah, we shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. I go, all right, well. I've had this for 5 years. Let's go back. They go, well, unfortunately, sir, our records only go back 4 months.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that convenient? I bet if I was getting $28 from you, the other way, I bet they would go back to the 60s.
Same thing happened to me. It was 3 months.
And this is what they said to me. I said, what if I bring in all my records? What if I bring in all my records? And then they go, sir, we're only going to reimburse you 4 months. I go, that's ridiculous. And the guy at the bank goes, well, the bank looks at it like that's on you.
Right.
Because I didn't catch
on you
him.
to pay attention that they're stealing?
That they're stealing from me.
It's up to you paying attention.
Yeah, it's what he was basically saying.
Whoa.
What he was basically saying was lawyer up.
Yeah.
Lawyer up, buddy. Go ahead.
Pretty much how it works is that's why you have 30 days. For credit cards, you have 30 days to return. You have 30 days to make sure all these charges are correct. Once you get past 30 days, then you're pretty much screwed.
Dude, they do other shit where if you say you're one of these guys, I pay off my balance every month, and you think you're getting them, this is what they do. Is if you pay it 3 days before, this guy was telling me it ends up being late because they send it somewhere else to be processed. They artificially delay it. So by the time it does get to them,
right.
It's messed up. And this is another one of those other things. Someone told me that in a Starbucks.
And I
got 3/4 of the way through the sentence, and I realized I didn't have any official
words.
Well,
I do know.
There.
I do know there has to be something official because nowadays you can write a check, and within hours that check clears your bank. And I'm like, that's a check, and it's going through in 2 hours. And they're like, yes, this is technology has changed in the banking system, so this is new. But yet, if you try to pay something off or do something like that, it's like immediately, it takes like 3 days on your transfer funds.
Right.
It takes like 3 days. What? It makes no sense. It can't be backwards.
Not there.
Well,
it's artificial.
However long they can hold on to your money, they make interest off your money too. So I guess if you think about it that if they hold on to your money an extra few days before they do something, and you add that up over, the million people they have in their bank and the 365 days a year, that practice probably nets them a significant amount of money. If you look at it,
$28 from every shithead like me who doesn't check for a year, and I didn't notice until it went under $1,000 because I knew I had 1,000 something in there. It was one of the accounts I had back east. So I came out here and I was always meaning to close it out. It was like I had like $1,200 or something in it, and then all of a sudden I'm out here for like a year and a half, and all of a sudden I get my statement, and it was like down to like 900 something bucks, and that is on me. It is on me because I didn't realize that your bank could steal from you and then just say, well, go f yourself. That's kind of your fault. Tell you what, we'll give you like $80-$90 back. All right there, buddy?
So is that what they gave you? They gave you like 3 months back?
I don't even know if they did. The guy just said he would. I walked out disgusted, and then the NBA Finals started. Read the circus, and I started watching that, and I never followed up.
There's actually something that just passed. You guys, especially the audience, might want to check this out. Used to be a credit card like a bank or a credit card could if you had like 7 charges go through at the same time, they can take out all those 7 charges and then charge you 7 overdraft fees. That's how they used to be able to do it. But something just passed recently that you could tell your credit cards and your bank that if there's no money in your account, you're not allowed to pull money out. So they're trying to trick you into signing and going, no, let's keep it the old way. So they'll call you up or they'll tell you like, hey, you want to make sure all these charges go through, right? Yeah, well, you need to accept these.
Is that what that letter was about?
That's what that new letter is.
That letter was that I blew off?
Yeah, you don't blow it off. Tell all your credit card companies know that if there is no money in the account, you don't want it to go through, and you'll save yourself all those you'll never have an overdraft charge again.
So they're forcing overdraft fees on people.
They're trying to, but they're trying to go back to the old way where like you would have 7 things go through like a $3 charge, and then you get charged $39 for an overdraft fee. You're like, well, why did it go through if I had no money in my account?
Or if you made a deposit to cover it, they input the deposit last,
right?
And then bam, 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 and they nail it. Well, the deposit takes 90 days to go through, where the charge only takes 3 seconds.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry, sir.
That.
I know, I understand. There's nothing we can do. I love that. That's what you always get. There's nothing we can do. I don't nip you. I got on a plane ticket the other day, and I show up, and all of a sudden I don't have a seat reservation. I had one on the way out. Well, it's oversold. Well, I didn't do that. And then the lady has like an attitude with me, and it's like, what the? I spent $500. They asked me where I wanted to sit. I picked out the seat, and I was told I have a reservation. And then you oversold. You oversold.
Could you imagine if you did that with a car?
Yeah.
So somebody pays for a car, and you go, "Oh, okay, your car's waiting for you," and the guy comes down. No, it was oversold.
Yeah.
I oversold the car.
That should be against the law.
I wanted to make sure I sold the car, so I sold it twice.
Yeah, but that's not even as bad because you can get in your car and fucking drive home. Imagine if they go.
What if somebody dropped you off
No,
there?
we oversold whatever car you have, so they had to come and take yours and took it away, and you're fucking sitting in your house going, yeah, but I have to go to the airport. I'm sorry, sir. There's nothing we can do.
How can they do that? I don't care if they're losing money. How can they sell more seats than there are seats? That should be. I
think they figured out a way to have, like, remember 10 years ago when you used to go on the road, how many times was the seat next to you empty?
All the
and
time.
Occasionally you'd get the whole row and you'd curl up back in the good old days.
The good old
right?
days.
The good old days.
When does that happen now?
And it never happens now because they'll always say, like...
they cancel flights and jam people together.
There you go.
They don't give a fuck about your convenience.
That's right.
And they'll just give away tickets to people that will, like, hey, you get a free ticket if you wait till the next flight. So they're not actually overselling it because they'll get rid of those tickets.
I was getting up against being here by 11, and I got to get home to take my wife out of the house because she's going nuts staying in the house with the kids. So I got that thing, and I got to sign this other, life insurance. I got to do all this adult shit. And I'm thinking, I got this little window to get gas, and I show up in this industrial park. There's no gas station. I finally went all the way down, and the whole time there was like, it's thrifty. And I'm thinking, like, isn't that a car rental place? So I pull in, and I stick the credit. Right as I stuck it in, I'm going, this is too easy because I know I have the exact amount of time to get her right on time. And of course, it's just like, is this debit? I'm like, oh, you like, no. And they go in and see the guy behind the register. I'm like, yeah, I try to use my credit card. And he goes, we don't take credit cards here. And I go, why? And he goes, I just take debit card. I just kept saying why, like a 2-year-old. And he finally just goes, so it's cheaper. And I was like, all right, that's a good excuse. And I gave him like $60 and it only ended up being like 39. So then I had to go back in and get my change. And he's looking at me like, see, idiot, it would have cost you like 15 more. So I do that all the time.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those debit card only ones. That's stupid.
Why you never use your debit card? Use your credit card anyway.
Why? What happens?
Because that's your money. So if somebody takes that and then cleans you out, that's your shit. If somebody swipes your credit card number, that's their money. So then they call you up and they just go, hey, Joe, did you buy a ham hock in Vancouver at a strip club? Why, no, I didn't. I was in Burbank. Good luck with that. Whatever the fuck.
Anybody ever bought a ham hock at a strip club?
Dude, you've given me every piece of the milk except that.
I've got some ham hock for you. Some bone he can chop up and make marrow with.
So I got a buddy of mine who's a lawyer who prosecutes identity theft, which a lot of lawyers don't want to do because it's unbelievably tedious. And when they call up, a lot of times they're calling up the credit card companies to fight for their case. They still have to go through that maze. If you'd like to do this, press 1. If you'd like to do that, press 2. And they're trying to help them out. So, but that was one thing that I remembered out of all the things he told me not to do. He goes, don't ever use your debit card because if they get that and they clean you out, that's your money. And then all of a sudden you got a mortgage coming up and then you're late and you're like, no, but somebody took my money and blah, 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 blah. It's your credit card. They have to deal with it.
I had an attempt recently, and I'm wondering whether or not it's because I switched over to Windows. Because, I have this Windows computer now. I get pissed off at Mac. People got mad at us clearing our throat, and I just cleared my throat again. I switched over to this Windows computer because I get mad. These Macs, they switched over all the ports, and now you have this USB-C, and you have to get an adapter if you want to use all your other to it.
I know. I got Rosetta Stone French, right? I can't. There's no place to stick the fuck.
Yeah, you have to get an adapter. So I was like, what the?
How about the iPhone 7 with the little cord?
The lightning thing? Yeah. Well, you can get a splitter with that where it goes with you can use a regular headphone jack.
But it's all extra money.
Yeah.
It's all extra money, and then you lose them.
I think the idea is that eventually there's going to be some peripherals that are more powerful and they don't work on the existing ports. But, like I got this Lenovo ThinkPad and I love it. And this is the second one that I got because it's got everything. It's got an Ethernet port. It's got HDMI. It's got all this shit. It's tiny. The battery life is forever. It's got this fat battery in the bottom, but for the first time in a long time, somebody tried to steal my identity. And I'm like, geez, I wonder if it has to do with that. I wonder if it's a Windows thing. Does that make sense? Not really? I don't know. Could be something else. I don't know. But it's sneaky. Yeah. But at least when I have a business management company, they contact me. They put the stop to it right away.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's disconcerting that you're out there, you know, that someone's trying to find your social security number and attach it to your credit card and buy something. Yeah.
Yep.
I've had it happen at gas stations where they put that fake scanner on. They put a fake scanner over the scanner. So as you scan through, and you even are using it. Like you're using your credit card, you're buying gas, but you gave them your credit card information.
Yeah, I've 2 times credit cards. That's happened to me at gas station. Restaurants are another big double swipe thing.
Yeah, restaurants. Well, that's people that work there, scumbags.
Yeah. You gotta go. You gotta go cash as much as you can.
I know, right? Isn't that crazy?
This never happened. You don't know me.
I know a guy. He's dead now, but he was one of the first credit card thieves. His name was International Sal. That's what we used to call him because when he got arrested, that was what his nickname was International Sal. Because this is in like the 70s or the 80s when credit cards first came out. He would get those carbon slips from restaurants, and they would make up new credit cards and then sell them to criminals. And he would just get bags and bags of cash from it. And this guy was gambling. He would go to the pool hall that I went to, and he was like the most perpetual loser you've ever seen in your life. Like he could not win. It was a psychological.
It sounds like an Oscar-winning movie.
Yeah,
this guy's life.
Well, in a way, it probably should be. I mean, he was a trip.